Hello, my name is Vinod. Okay, today I'm going to talk about our security policy of our company, which is ABX. Okay, first I'm going to talk about the information handling policy. There are some purpose for the information handling policy. The first is this policy sets out the need to define classes of information handled by the company and the requirements on the labeling, storage, and transmission, processing, and disposal of it. Okay, the requirements include confidentially in handling, storage, and transmission, and integrity. Lastly, is availability. Okay, the third is the system documentation should itself be classified as sensitive information. This policy should be familiar to all the staff dealing with the information. In addition, to needing to meet legal compliance requirements, it is beneficial to the company to achieve and maintain good standards of information handling. Okay, this policy identifies the controls and process required to maintenance and protect information used by the company, which is ABX. Okay, we relating to information handling to help reduce risk, including physical equipment, mobile and remote computing, and malware analysis. Okay, the following is the policy of information handling policy. Okay, company ABX doing job in accordance with the principles of confidentiality and integrity and availability with confidential or highly sensitive to be more sensitive and personal information being documented and controlled because it can be transferred or copied. Okay, the last we are going to see in the information handling policy is implementing the information security policy. Okay, first is the company will ensure that all individuals who use information systems or handle sensitive information are aware of and understand the relevant policies that apply. Okay, the second is consequences of non-compliance disciplinary action will be taken, and third is the every information and requirements will be taken, planned, and implemented in accordance with the information security policy that has been signed. Okay, the last is obtain approval from superiors or the customers. Okay, next we are going to see about the mobile and remote computing. Okay, the policy statement of mobile and remote computing is mobile computing devices must be permanently marked to make them less attractive to thieves. Uh, they also have should install agents which are report on internet location and potentially risky software installation and permit data destruction, and should be recorded as an institutional asset which is reporting on the estate as a whole. Okay, the security of any institutional data stored on a mobile computing device must be given to consideration. Users in administration which are have more privilege on laptops must ensure that any software or media file loaded onto the machine is used in compliance with the appropriate license and copyright considerations. Okay, now we are going to see about the controls and processes of mobile and remote computing. Okay, user ID and associate password must not be used or shared by anyone else because user ID is for enable them to access separate information systems, and password we cannot share with anyone because we don't want anyone to steal it or they use for other things. In the short periods also, password cannot share to anyone. If passwords confidentially is compromised in any way or is found to be weak or non-compliant, the password must be changed immediately. Common step to create a strong password. Okay, these are the steps to create a strong password. Okay, the first is check password audit before save the password. Okay, the second, require that password be at least 6 characters in length, although 8 to 10 are preferable. If the password length is more, okay, it's feel more secure. Okay, the third is prohibit the use of password that are words, name, dates, or other. Okay, and the following commonly expected formats. Okay, another is forbid the use of password that reflect or identity the account owner. Okay, no birth dates, initials, or name of pets because they can guess easily our passwords. Okay, require a mix of character, for example, i.e. letters, numbers, and upper lowercase. Lowercase means the A alphabet is uppercase, lowercase, like that. If the if the system is case sensitive, warn user not to type their password when someone may be watching. Okay. Systematically, the required passwords to be changed at preset intervals. Example, once per month. Uh, then it's hard to anyone to know our password or attack our system. Okay, the last one I'm going to talk about is malware protection. Okay, nowadays the number of computer security incidents related to the malware and viruses continue to escalate. Okay, implementing anti-malware and antivirus systems, blocking unnecessary access to networks and computers, improving user security awareness and early detection. It will give a early detection and mitigation of security incidents are best practice actions that must be taken to reduce the risks. Okay, the first is procedures and tools exist to guard against, detect, and report malicious software. The second is IT personnel are trained and proficient in the use of the security solutions used to be protect against the malicious software. Okay, the last is the end users are aware of the security policies enforced on their workstations. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the access control of malware protection. We are going to see the two authentication, which is two-factor authentication (TFA), multi-factor authentication, which is MFA. These two shall be used for any services remotely accessible by personal and or authorized third parties, unless the personal and authorized third parties are connected to the protected corporate network. Okay, establish process for linking all access to the system components, especially access with administrative privileges such as root to each individual user. The IT department shall be notified of all personnel leaving ICIMS employed by talent human resources prior to or at the end of their employment as soon as possible after notification, not to be exceed 24 hours. Rights to all systems shall be removed unless a specific uh, specific expression request is received from the talent, legal, or information security. A manager or above and the system owner shall formally approve user roles and access requests. System administrator shall act in the final gatekeeper to ensure access is granted appropriate to the identified role. Okay. Ensure minimal control use of administrator, local administrator, enterprise admin, and or schema admin profiles. Avoid assigning security equivalences that copy one user rights in order to create another. Okay, now we are see about the logging of the access control. Record at least the following audit trail entries for all system components for each event. The first is user identification, type of event, date and time, success or failure indication, identity or name of affected data system component or resource. Viewing of audit trails shall be limited to those or with a job related need. Okay, appropriate security monitoring tools shall be implemented to ensure that knowledge of the ongoing security posture is in place and that appropriate action can be taken to mitigate security events and incidents. Access logs shall be periodically revive and immediate action taken as necessary to mitigate issues found. Okay, now we are going to talk about the backups. Okay, the backups of the access control. Regular backups of data application and the configuration of servers and supporting devices shall occur to enable data recovery in the event of a disaster or business continuity event and retain according to data uh, retention policy. Okay, backups for critical systems and systems that contain production, subscriber data, personal data, and or bill shall be performed on at least a daily basis. Okay, this is from me. Thank you.
Hello guys, I continue with my statement and by assignment. I continue with my point logging. Record at least the following audience trail entries for all system components for each event. They even are user identification, type of event, date and time, successful or failure indication, identity or name of affected data system component or resources. Viewing of every trade shall be limited to those with a job related need, and an appropriate security monitoring tool shall be implemented to ensure that knowledge of ongoing security procedure is in place, that appropriate action can be taken to mitigate security event or incident. Access log shall be predictably reviewed and immediate reaction taken as necessary to mitigate issues found. And secondly, backup. Regular backup of data application and the configuration of servers supporting devices shall occur to enable data recovery in the event of disaster, business continuity event, and retain according to data retain policy. And backup of critical system and system that contain production, subscriber data, personal data, or PLL shall be performed on at least a daily basis. And second one is physical equipments, building access control. To meet the enterprise business objective and ensure continuity of its operation shall adopt and follow well-defined and time-tested plan and procedures to ensure and physical security of all information access and human access. Access to servers shall be restricted only to designated system and operation personnel. Besides them, if any other person want to work on the servers from the development area, then he or she shall be able to connect to the servers only through remote desktop connection with a restricted user account. Critical backup shall be kept in fireproof or outside location vault, and physical access to the information system shall be monitored to detect and respond to physical security incident. Physical security is an essential part of our security plan. Information system shall be protected from power failures and other disruption caused by the failure in supporting utilities. And next one is physical equipments, network equipment. Access to the internal and external network service that contains subscriber data shall be controlled through Network Access Control List (NACL) or equivalent, firewall policies or equivalent, security groups or equivalent, IP whitelist or equivalent, a multi-tier architecture that prevents direct access to the data stores from the internet. Usage of role-based access control (RBAC) shall be implemented to ensure aggregated access to the networks. and two-factor authentication for remote access shall be implemented as default to access control policy and interpersonal idea. Cybersecurity is dominating as a market as the request on computerized advertise to stay up with sensational development in administration, arrangement, and contents, conveying your images, and initiative to your intent interest group such that it's the perfect message at the perfect time is setting. Separating from the opposite requires a sound procedure that use every advanced channel. And our entrepreneurial idea are system security administration. As a system security administrator, we can be hire or installing, administering and troubleshooting and organizations security solutions. Not many organizations outsource this kind of job, but there are still some who do, and those are ones to pitch your service to. And as a system security administrator, we are defend to system against unauthorized access, perform vulnerability scanning assessment, monitor the network traffic so as a spot unusual activities, configure a security tools such as antivirus and a firewall. And second point is malware analysis. Malware are great threat to any kind of business, especially information technology relevant related. It usually refers to a variety of intrusive, intrusive, intrusive software which includes computer viruses as well as other malicious programs. It can disrupt a business if specifically by the hacker to do so. Malware are great threat to any kind of business, especially with information technology related. And the importance of vendor security. Risk assess individual vendors. Each vendors provide a different service that enables company X ABXL business. The company need to access individual vendors based on the risk supply chain process and create clear vendors contract. The company's contract need to clearly define your risk tolerance using the KPIs. The companies could establish and define metrics for terminating the relationship. While defining KPIs for product delivery is easy, defining them because cybersecurity is more complicated. That's all. Thank you.